Van, you were saying while you were watching that about the significance of that moment.
He became president of the United States in that moment. Period.
Hey everyone, it's Pooh again. Just wanted to post a video because this video clip that I'm about to show you here has been circulating widely on social media. I mean, if you even go to YouTube and do a Google search on this video, which I will put in the title here, is it's all over. I mean, the initial search listing on YouTube will pull up video upon video upon video of this particular video clip. Now, this is a clip of Van Jones talking about when Trump became president in a particular moment. And this is in regard to Trump's speech to the joint session of Congress last night. Anyway, let's get into the video here.
For as the Bible teaches us, there is no greater act of love than to lay down one's life for one's friends. Ryan laid down his life for his friends, for his country, and for our freedom, and we will never forget Ryan.
Now, what I want to talk about real quick as far as this part of the video goes is that there are a lot of people on the left making hay over this Navy SEAL's wife being in the gallery for this speech here. They're making hay out of it, saying that Trump is exploiting the dead. Well, pretty much since Bush was in office and we became involved with the global war on terror, often at these particular speeches, whether it's State of the Union or, addressing a joint session of Congress, the president has generally brought in a family member or so of a particular fallen hero that died in one of these conflicts, whether it be in Afghanistan, Iraq, or some other place. And that also includes President Obama. To say that Donald Trump is using the dead for politics, it's not politics to me. It's just a president taking the time to recognize the fact that we have had fallen soldiers, SEALs, seamen, whatever. Just said seamen. Anyway, so it's not political hate. It just is what it is. And I've never agreed with anybody, whether they be on the left or the right, accusing a president of using our military dead to talk about or to just recognize the fact that, they gave their lives for this country, without getting into the justifications of these particular conflicts or not. Anyway, let's move on.
A truly extraordinary moment. Corinna Owens William Ryan Owens was her husband. Van, you were saying while you were watching that about the significance of that moment.
He became president of the United States in that moment.
Well, Van, no. That's not when he became president of the United States. He became president of the United States January 20th, 2017. Whether or not you felt he was your president is irrelevant. Nobody cares except for you and people who agree with you whether or not that was the moment that Trump became president of. And he's going to address here that more or less that there are those who probably still don't see Trump as president of the United States, and it doesn't matter. Legally speaking, he's the president of the United States. Unless you're not a U.S. citizen, he is your president. And crying and pissing yourself about whether or not he isn't going to nullify that. Let's go on.
Period. There are a lot of people who have a lot of reason to be frustrated with him, to be fearful of him, to be mad at him.
Okay, as far as the frustrated part, that's fine. The man frustrates me, and I voted for him. But as far as the fear, there's no reason for them to be fearful of Donald Trump. Just like there was no real reason for the right to be fearful of Obama when he was first elected with their hyperbole, he's going to take our guns away scree. So yeah, there's no real reason. There's nothing reasoned about people fearing the President of the United States. At least not at this point. They only fear what might become, like how he might become as President of the United States. And so far, nothing of it is justified. He never justified that kind of reasoning while he was campaigning. You know, people just decided to, you know, kind of read the whole damn thing before, you know, he even got into office. And this is why, you know, CNN and the likes tried so hard to make sure he didn't become president, which obviously, as we all know by now, they failed miserably at it.
But that was one of the most extraordinary moments you have ever seen in American politics, period.
And I can agree to a point. There have been a lot of extraordinary moments in American politics. If I were to go with one of the most extraordinary moments in American politics, and don't get me wrong, you know, having a representative of a fallen military person in a setting like this is always going to be extraordinary. At the same time, though, it's kind of become common practice since, you know, again, the global war on terrorism began. So, you know, unfortunately, they kind of become a little less extraordinary to the average American, in my opinion, anyway. So, you know, something that really stands out to me as in a very extraordinary moment was in one of George Bush's State of the Union addresses, where they brought this Iraqi woman who sat in the gallery, whose finger was still purple from the Iraqis getting their first post-Saddam Hussein regime vote. That was extraordinary. So, I don't know. I mean, I could agree and disagree with him at the same time.
And he did something extraordinary. And for people who have been hoping that he would become unified, hoping that he might find some way to become presidential, they should be happy with that moment.
Yeah, because, you know, these people who were still hoping that he might find a moment to be presidential never saw, or at least didn't see all of his rally speeches. You know, I saw several of them because, again, if you've ever seen any of my other videos, I didn't want Trump as president. Sometimes I still don't. But, again, you know, better him than Hillary. So the thing is, if you watched not all the time, but if you watched most of his rally speeches, you could find moments of him being presidential. You know, really speaking to the crowd, you know, not speaking at the crowd. One of the most poignant moments in Trump's campaign that kind of won me over to him was him mentioning Hillary's campaign motto of "I'm with her" by stating his was "I'm with you." That won me more over to realizing that Trump has got to beat Hillary. Because even her campaign motto and her followers kind of bought into it without even really second guessing it, is that it was self-centered, self-serving. It was all about her. Whereas in Trump's comment of "I'm with you" was him basically saying that, look, I'm here to work for you. I want to be the president to make the country better. We can disagree on how he goes about doing so, but that's what he meant in that moment.
For people who have been hoping that maybe he would remain a divisive cartoon, which he often finds a way to do.
Fuck you, Van. Just fuck you. You know, this is why I despise you as a pundit. And this is why you thinking Trump became presidential in that, or became president in this particular moment, has no credibility with me. Now, you might have started garnering some when you said that, and I still find it laughable. Oh, that it took this moment for him to become president of the United States, not the fact that he won an election or became inaugurated, took an oath of office, but this moment. But then you go on and call him a cartoon character. Just fuck you, Van.
They should begin to become a little bit worried tonight, because that thing you just saw him do, if he finds a way to do that over and over again, he's going to be there for 8 years.
Well, they should have been worried about him doing 8 years the night he won the election. Because unfortunately, Van, none of you on the, well, I won't say none of you, there's a good number of you on the left that still hasn't figured out that those who voted for Trump are tired of your bullshit. You guys are still coming up with the bullshit that is starting to get even more people since the election over to the Trump side, to the Republican side. Okay, and I'll say again, Donald Trump has been president of the United States since January 20th. There is no particular moment that has come up since then that has all of a sudden made Donald Trump president of the United States. Now, I'm going to take this moment to, maybe give Van a little bit benefit of the doubt. He might have meant presidential. I kind of doubt it, though. And, mostly because, he's been one of Donald Trump's harshest critics, and that's fine. Donald Trump needs to have harsh critics. The problem is that Van Jones doesn't fall under a harsh critic that is also intellectually honest. He's very dishonest about what he has to say in his criticism of the president. Just some of the things I pointed out, like about him calling Donald Trump a cartoon character. That's not intellectual honesty. You can have an intellectually honest conversation without going to the lowest common denominator and bringing in insults. I should probably practice that more myself. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you enjoy it. Give it a like. Please share this video. Please subscribe. Or don't do any of that. If you don't do any of that, kiss my bootay. All right, y'all. Deuce.